Alright, so welcome back to another Flask tutorial. Where in this tutorial we're going to start to talk about AWS. If you haven't heard about it, it stands for Amazon Web Service. The specific feature we're going to use is called S3. This is a feature that we're going to basically use to to store some files that user might create. In this case, specifically the thumbnail picture of their note. So let's take a look at how can we do it. So if you want to choose to use Amazon Web Service, what you can do is first you need to make sure you have an account. You can sign up at aws.amazon.com or just aws.com. And then you can click on sign to the console, and then it will prompt you like either you can log in or something else. But then you should be able to see something like this, and then found service. In here you can just type S3, and then just choose the first option that pops up. And now you're on your S3. Notice that I have to create a few different what we call buckets. So it's like you can imagine as project that's like basically like you can imagine it as this is like your entire Google Drive, and then there's some subfolder under it, and then inside maybe there's more subfolder where there's file. And to create a bucket, you can just click on this orange button, and the bucket name, well, I'm just gonna name it Note Sample Flask Note app, and the region just gonna be United States West. And here's what important. I'm gonna uncheck this. I'm gonna turn off block all public access because it turns out that we do need public access. And then these things are fine. We can create a bucket. I acknowledge. Yeah, don't worry about that. And then now what we could do is in here you can see we create a new bucket called sample Flask Note app. And then what you also want to do is you want to click on services. Actually, let's see. Maybe now you can click into your bucket, and then basically we need to create an Iam user. So let's see. Yeah, I think it's on these services. So just click on the top this services button, and then in here just search IAM. So basically it's a way to like robot to manage some services, so you can like automatically upload. And then in here you want to click on users, and you want to add a user. Notice this is my like I create a user, and in here I just want to say sample user, and then I'm gonna have a programmatic access, and then here you're gonna go ahead and say attach existing policies directly, and in here just search S3, and then gonna choose S3 full access. Next tags, you can skip that, create this user, and now you should see something like this. Your username, the username you create here, the access key, and then access key ID, and then access key. So just for a demonstration purpose, just gonna click on show. Of course, I'm gonna delete this user after this video being recorded. And then what you can do now is put it somewhere. So here I'm just gonna store in here because we're gonna need it later. And then secret access key, this is your first and only time you will see it ever again. So make sure you copy that. And then after finish, I can close it off. Alright, so now we got our credential set up. And then now we can start to manipulate file management using S3. So let's go back to the helpers.py here. And then in here, I'm just gonna create in here, actually, we're gonna install another dependency first. And then the dependency we're gonna install is called bottle3. So you can type pip. Actually, let me just double check my Python version really quick. Yeah, that I'm gonna use pip3 install bottles3. So bottles3 is just like a way to you can access with S3 developed in Amazon. And then you can see I think I installed it already, so its requirements are ready. And then now in here I'm just gonna say import bottles3 and import this module. Okay, and then I'm pretty sure we're finished porting here. And in here, you're gonna say def upload s3 request. Gonna create a new function. Basically, it's called upload. So upload to s3, and then actually let's go. Yeah, and then in here, gonna create a new variable. Actually, I think we can create inside. This should be fine. Here we're gonna say s3 equals to bottles3 dot resource, and then here just gonna say s3, and then you can specify two optional arguments. It's AWS access key ID as well as your AWS secret access key. These are the two optional parameters that you need to specify. And then now I can just go ahead and copy, paste, copy, paste. So what I would say is I would recommend you to use environment variable instead. So what is the environment variable? Well, let's take a look in the IPython environment. I just thought this probably is useful, so I'm just gonna talk about environment variable. So the environment variable is a way to specify credentials without explicitly stating them directly inside of your program file. So for example, we could specify a environment variable using bash export. Since I'm using the IPython, when I'm typing bash, I need to specify the exclamation mark before it. So if you're just using regular bash, don't forget this exclamation mark. And I can say export, and then maybe I want to export something like AWS access key ID equals to ABC. All right, so now I can see I created this environment variable. Now how can we access it in Python? Well, first we need to import this OS module, which is the built-in module. And in here, I can just say os.getInf, and then put your environment variable's name here. So this is environment variable name, and this is respective value. Now I can just copy this part, paste it, and then let's see, stuck it in. Oops, I don't think it works. I don't think it works in IPython. Yeah, but if you do it normally in regular environment, this is like how it should work. Not sure why this is not working in IPython, but I mean it should work. If you do that and then in here reference it later, it should work. So, but for now, I'm not going to use the environment variable. I'm just going to skip that part to keep things simple. And then as well as we're going to define another function, just going to generate some random string for a file name. Oops. And then notice that we specify optional parameter called digit, but by default it's 10. And then here, I'm going to say string. And then here also going to import other default module. So from string import ASCII letters digits. And in here you're gonna say for I in range of digit. Actually, I'm just gonna say n. And then in here just gonna say string plus equals to random dot choice, which means you need to import random dot choice. ASCII letters plus digits. So ASCII letters all like A through Z English alphabet, and uppercase and lowercase, and then digits just 0 through 9. And then in here at the end, just kind of return the string. All right. The reason I need to do that, create this random string helper function, is because I'm going to reference this later in this upload s3 function. Notice that we actually need to create some distinct file name, and then we're just going to like generate 10 random string, 10 like the length is 10 of random string. And in here you can just say something like s3 dot bucket. Recall the s3 is we created up here, and then here just gonna say dot bucket, and then so which bucket are we using? So now if you forgot already, just like me, we could go back to the console, which is here, and then the name is sample flask note app for my bucket, and then here we're just gonna say dot put. I'm gonna put something, put object actually. So you're gonna put something into this s3 bucket, and then key equals to name, and then in here we're actually gonna import another module. These are just for some frying purposes. It's called Paslib. Basically able to get the like suffix, so like file extension or the txt. We can use Paslib like to extract this extension because we really want to replace it file.txt maybe to something like random string.txt. So you need to be able to extract the file suffix file extension. And then in here, just gonna use fstring name, and then here just notice that we import Paslib, another built-in function. Here you're gonna say paslib.pass. Here you're gonna say request.files bracket image. So request.files is this request is basically the Flask request, and then pass it in, so we're able to get the file object here, and then want to get the file names suffix. File name, dot file name, and then dot the suffix for that file name, basically. And then I'm gonna specify one more thing. Call this ACL. I'm not sure what that stands for, but I'm just gonna say public read. So basically, it's visible by just visiting the URL. And then you're gonna say return f name paslib. So we're actually just gonna copy this. Should work. So just copy this and then paste it right here with an F in front of it for sure. And then we're able to get the new file name generated, and then we can store that inside of the database. So that's basically how AWS works, and then we'll create this little helper function. And then let's take a look how can we like upload a file. So let's go ahead and run this Flask app. I'm actually going to leave this page on. 5,000. Oops. Oh yeah, the client ID. Oops, that's my mistake. Let's see. I don't really want you guys to see it. That's why I'm using the environment variable here. But you know what? I think that will be it for today's video. I really want to show we're just gonna show like double check if it works or not. And the next video, gonna say how can integrating AWS together into this Node application. And probably we're gonna finish up quick. So here I'm just defining AWS route, and then here from helpers, and then import upload s3 as well. Here, just gonna say if request.method equals to post pass. Otherwise, want to return a form that the outdoor can submit, and then the actions going to be there's no action method is post int type. Double check what int type is available. Yeah, want this int type. Then let me paste it here. Int type is this. As here I just say type equals to file. Type equals to submit. So basically just render a really simple form so you can just otherwise double check, see if it works. Then I'm not adding the at login required thing, so we don't have to worry about that. And then in here, maybe if I go to this 5000 again, slash AWS, and then because I can choose a file, just gonna choose the sun file. Oops. Alright. Click on submit. Method not allowed. Oops. So equals get and post. I didn't implement this as well, so you can just say return random. Maybe you can just say return. We don't need to return anything, so just gonna return an empty string, and then I'm gonna say upload S3. Put our request here. And then let me try to refresh again. Choose my file. Let me choose this rainy day file now. Submit. Oh, here image, yeah. So maybe here I need to specify the name of the image. See, despite I'm start like working with Flask, have sometimes now, I'm still a little bit rusty on this basic stuff. But anyway, let's see. Try it again. Submit. Returns nothing. Now if you go to this console, refresh again, which we could see, got one image here. And then if we click on it, click on this route, it should prompt us to download the image. And then if we open this image up, could not open because it's empty. I don't know why that happens, but maybe if we this time just say something like, because I want to make sure it works, because like my Google client ID didn't set up correctly. Maybe we can say image source equals this. Okay, well, I mean, believe it's uploaded correctly. We do have image name there. Well, I mean, I think it should be uploaded correctly, despite for some reason it cannot get the image for some reason. But yeah, I think overall this AWS thing now should work. Let me just put another file here, because who knows, sometimes it's a little bit weird. But this is basically like how we can interact with AWS. You can see actually like upload different files. Open it up. I mean, I think it should work correctly because that's how the working code works. And then should be able to successfully upload the file. I don't want to keep things empty, but I think it should work. I think it should work. Well, I guess that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please smash the like button and subscribe button as well. Just a quick summary. We talk about AWS, Amazon Web Service, how can we interact it using Flask, basically like upload stuff. But without further ado, thanks for watching and see you next time.